Algebra 1, Unit 8B Study Guide. We're going to cover the first problems dealing with quadratics and parabolas. So in the first question, you're asked to identify the characteristics of and graph a quadratic equation. You want to sketch the graph of a quadratic equation that has a positive coefficient of x squared, which is the a value, and then has one solution. So that means if the a value is positive, it's going to open up. And if it has one solution, that means it's just going to cross the x-axis once. So it has one x-intercept. Doesn't matter where it crosses, you can just pick a point and then just draw that U-shaped curve. So it just touches down on the x-axis and opens up. The next problem shows you a graph of a quadratic, here, this parabola, and then asks you just different questions about it. So how many solutions does the quadratic equation have? So locate your x and your y axes, and then solutions are where it's crossing the x-axis. So since it's crossing twice, that means it has two solutions. The second question says, what are the solutions? So you're looking at the x value. So this is -3 and this is 0. So we would say x equals -3, 0. The coefficient of x squared, which is that a value, has to be negative because the graph opens down. That's just what happens when that a value is negative. The vertex is that highest or lowest point. In this case, it's the highest or maximum. So you just locate your x and your y coordinates. So it's -2, +4. Vertex is always in the form of a xy coordinate. The line of symmetry is going to go right through that vertex. And it's the x value of the vertex. So you can see that it goes right through the parabola where x is -2. On the right side of that, those are all the values that are greater than -2. And on the left side of that axis of symmetry, that's all the x values that are less than -2. So the next question says, identify the interval where x is increasing. So look at that parabola, read it like a book, left to right. So as you look left, and then your eyes move along the curve, your eyes are going upward. That means that it is increasing on the left side of that axis. So the interval is where the x values are less than -2. Interval just means either less than or greater than. Now, it's decreasing on the right side of that axis. So that is where x is greater than -2. And that's how you pick out the characteristics, or those characteristics, of a parabola.